Welcome back, boys and girls, to New Rockstars. My name is Sam Bashor, and today I'm going to be talking about The Flash. Big surprise, specifically episode 403, Luck Be a Lady. What a delightfully goofy and fun episode, huh? Let's get going. Here's your spoiler warning for The Flash TV show, past, present, and future episodes, the comics, and, everything else. As you know, I like to do a top 10 list of the missable details, so starting with number 10, Becky Sharp, aka Hazard, our monster of the week, if you will. Hazard made her debut in Infinity Inc. back in January 1987. She's always been kind of evil, but not too important to the comics, but I do love how the show was able to utilize her and her abilities. Especially love how we got the comic accurate Hazard costume in the beginning of this episode. Remember that outfit she's wearing when she's got those 2 dice on her vest thing and she's working at the casino and it's her outfit and then she hops on the bus? There it is in all its glory. Now usually Hazard uses a pair of dice to affect probability in her favor, giving her good luck, but that's all we really know about her character. We do get a cameo of those dice if you fast forward to the climax of the episode when Hazard is racking up the millions in the casino. What does she have in her hand? How does she do that? Oh, that's right, with a pair of dice. Very cool. Speaking of casinos, our number 9 slot on the list goes to Hazard's place of employment. Take a look at that enormous signage behind Hazard when she notices that her car has been booted once again. Notice that name, Starlight. Well, to be fair, Starlight is the name of a casino in Vancouver where they filmed this show, but shh. Because DC and Warner Brothers most likely left the name in there for a reason. As you know, these shows love to hide names of comic book creators and little nods to other comic book characters, and my nerdy guts are telling me that this is a little nod to a certain member of the Superman family. Now, if you're familiar with the character Steel, no, not Steel or Citizen Steel or Commander Steel, whatever his name is from Legends of Tomorrow, but John Henry Iron Steel, one that Shaq played in that movie, then you might be familiar with his niece, Natasha Irons. She's always been kind of all over the place with her superhero identity, but most famously, she's gone by Starlight. So let's move on to number 8. When Hazard hops on that fateful bus that grants her probability-altering abilities, we actually get some major hints to the future of this season. Sure, Team Flash makes this same discovery during the episode, but there's more to it than that. Pay attention to the details. Kilgore, he's sitting on the bus working on his computer. And once that Speed Force portal opens up, he somehow gets fused with part of his computer. Now, Becky Sharp, she's feeling unlucky, or maybe because she's wearing dice on her vest. Now she can alter probability. I don't know, there's a lot of in these sentences, because it doesn't make sense, but we still love it. But here's where things get interesting. Notice the other 2 passengers we see on the bus. Neither of them have really been advertised by the CW, but obviously we now know that they most likely have some sort of metahuman ability. As for the woman, played by actress Chelsea Kurtz, I'll be honest, there's not too much to pull from here. She doesn't really do or have anything on her that gives us a clue as to her newfound abilities. But notice the Sadie McSad face sitting near the back of the bus. A little digging tells us that this actor's name is Matt Afonso, and on IMDb, he's been given the code name Weeper. So I'm guessing once the dark matter hit him, his sadness is now his power. I'm just guessing here, but also this does raise some questions. The Weeper is a costume villain from the comics. The Weeper's main identity is Mortimer Gloom, because of course, and he doesn't actually have any discernible abilities. Mortimer just usually writes letters to families saying that they lost a loved one or something else that's depressing, and when they leave their house, he robs them. It's super weird. And honestly, he hasn't really been in the comics since the 70s, and that was just one appearance, but he did team up with the Joker in the Batman Brave and the Bold animated series, so there you go. Moving on to number 7, something worth mentioning, the Breakup Box, which is amazing, by the way, is made of a special material. Anybody catch that? Oh, that's right, Atlantean plastic. Wow. Of course, most of you know that our Justice League member, Aquaman, is the king around those parts, but on Earth 2, Atlantis is a little bit different. If you remember in episode 207, Guerrilla Warfare, Harry brings up a map of Earth 2, and Atlantis is actually above ground. Whoa! And it's a popular tourist attraction based on Barry's phone call with his otherworldly mother in episode 213, Welcome to Earth 2. Next up, number 6, notice the name of the bank that Iris mentions after Harry pops onto Earth 1. Sullivan's Bank. Sure, this could just be, a fun name of a bank. It's fun to say, but since we're on the CW, I think this is a nod to one of my favorite supporting Superman characters, Chloe Sullivan. I think it's a Smallville reference. Actually, I'm almost 95% sure it's a Smallville reference. If you guys don't know, she was Clark's best friend on Smallville that helped him, set up the Watchtower, solve crimes, you name it, she did it. Now, number 5 on the list, let's look at that side story with Joe and Cecile working on his house. What was that line that Joe dropped when he was speaking with the plumber?
This house is, bitchin'.
This house is bitchin'. Now, if you're keeping up with these videos and the show, you should know that this is a line that was translated from Barry's Speed Force language after he popped out of the Speed Force. Now here's the question. Did Joe mention this line because he had heard it from Barry and Cisco when they translated it and he just wanted to make a joke? Or did he say it because he doesn't want to leave his house, and he's a little sensitive of people poking fun at it. Now, some of you might, come to a conclusion really fast, but I'm asking this because when Barry is spouting out nonsense in the premiere episode of this season, he mentions something that could be verified as a premonition later in this episode. Remember our episode cliffhanger? Joe's having another baby. I will get to that later on because I have some theories, but remember Barry mentions diapers and he smiles. Now, I originally thought that this could be, a nod to Barry and Iris's kids, Dawn and Dawn, the Tornado Twins, but maybe he's only seeing a season's worth of future events. Let me know your theories down below. Number 4, what was that city that Barry ran to when he was all naked, covered in Speed Force lightning? Oh yeah, Ivy City. That certainly sounds familiar. Oh yes, it's because it sounds like Ivy Town, which is a place that exists in the Arrowverse and in the comics. And speaking of comic book goodies, during the scene between Cisco and Harry when they mention Jessie getting her own team, Cisco throws out a couple of names. Now, none of these names mean anything to DC Comics, although some SpongeBob fans may be familiar with the Quickster. Love that. However, I think this might be a nod to Jesse Quick's company from the comics, Quickstart Enterprises. That's our number 3. Famous in the comics, Jesse Quick runs her father, Johnny Quick's company, Quickstart Enterprises, which is a multimedia company, but maybe now she runs Earth 2 Star Labs and has renamed it Quickstart Enterprises. I mean, I'm not really hung up if it is a multimedia company or like a tech company. It could be anything. As long as we get the name, I'll be happy. Who knows if we'll even get the name, but we do know that Jesse broke Wally's heart and now he's running away to our number 2 on the list, Blue Valley. Blue Valley in the comics is actually the real home of Wally West. Yay! He grew up there, he made the Flash fan club there, and eventually he returns there in the future to raise his family with Linda Park. Sad they didn't really get together in the show. It's roughly in Nebraska, which isn't too far from Central City, which is supposed to be kind of in Missouri. So Wally isn't too far from the action. Hopefully we'll see him join up with the Titans on their new show on the DC app. Could be a fun tie-in. Here's hoping. But he better be there for Barry and Iris's wedding. He better be there for the crossover. And he better be there for the birth of his new brother/sister. Perfect segue into our number 1 slot. Joe and Cecile are having a baby. Oh my goodness, yay. Now 2 things came to my mind. 1, this could be a way for Joe to leave the show. There's a tear. He could make the decision that Central City is too dangerous for a baby now with all the metas and he could move away. However, with him and Cecile deciding not to move at the end of the episode, I'm not sure that's the case. And 2, my brain is freaking out over who this baby could be. Who's that baby? Here are my theories. We're gonna number again. Number 1, this could be the introduction of another Flash villain. Hear me out. In the New 52, Iris and Barry aren't adoptive siblings, and Iris actually has a brother named Daniel. Daniel, through some comic book gobbledygook, turned out to be the new Reverse Flash, or a Reverse Flash. There's a couple, I guess. He's the one covered in metal that you guys have probably seen when you Google Reverse Flash. He looks very cool, looks like a monster. Now, I think we've had enough evil speedsters, and the character isn't that important in the comics, so I'm not sure it'll be him, but it could be my number 2 option, and this one's kind of out there, but just listen. I think it could be Dawn and Dawn. I know, Barry's kids that I mentioned earlier. No, I don't actually mean these are like Barry's actual kids, but they could use this pregnancy as a way to introduce Dawn and Dawn to the show. Then we get a time travel story where we meet Dawn and Dawn in the future, all grown up, which would give us the introduction of, drumroll please, Bart Allen, aka Impulse, because that's the character we actually want on the show. Really, really bad. My crazy theories aside, what do you guys think? Who could this baby be? Let me know down below. But really quick, a few honorable mentions, just need to mention them. The Wexel couple mentioned by Iris could be a nod to Elmer Wexel, creator of Miss America of the Justice Society, who we've seen on the Legends of Tomorrow. Algernon Arcade Supplies could be a nod to Flowers for Algernon, or it could be a nod to the long forgotten character Chessman, aka Algernon Blackwood from Earth Fox. Notice Iris and Barry's wedding getup looks an awful lot like the drawing we got for the Crisis on Earth X promo, the mega crossover this year. The pilot on the plane, I'm guessing, is supposed to look a lot like Captain Sully, the man who landed the plane on the Hudson River. Also, their reaction's super weird when the plane magically extinguishes its own fires. And lastly, from Twitter actually, at Bohemian Barry mentioned that the Thinker's headpiece looks an awful lot like the Brain, the infamous Teen Titans villain, and I thought that was cute. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like this video if you liked it. Make sure you subscribe for more breakdowns, especially our Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, but also make sure you check out Need to Know. Speaking of Need to Know, this Friday we're holding a costume/cosplay contest. All you guys gotta do is put together a costume or cosplay from one of your favorite TV shows or movies, then go ahead and download that Stardust app, make a Stardust post tagging new Rockstars, and we will feature you guys on our show Need to Know. And the top 3 people we choose will get prizes. Whoa. And the top prize will get a $100 gift card to the movies. Oh my God, that's amazing. All you guys gotta do is upload that post before Friday, tomorrow at 8 a.m. PST. Get on it as quick as you can. Again, tweet me your thoughts and feelings on this episode at Sam Bashor on Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time.